On the news, House of Rep order arrest of acting NDDC chairman for walking out on investigative committee as Governor Nyesom Wike rescues NDDC DG from police siege. Southwest states agreed to reopen schools in August despite federal government advisory against move. And Sudanese government and rebels enter final phase of peace talks. Many thanks for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Annetta Felix. We'll begin with the slight drama today at the National Assembly, which ended with the issuance of an arrest warrant for the Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Kemebradi Kumo Ponde. Trouble began when the NDDC management officials worked out on the House of Representatives Committee probing the alleged misappropriation of 40 billion naira by the Commission. The NDDC group, led by Ponde, had alleged that the chairman of the committee, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, is corrupt and must recuse himself from the investigation. They thereafter worked out on the committee when it refused to yield to their request. Reacting to the development, the committee unanimously agreed to issue a warrant for Ponde's arrest and later passed a vote of confidence on the chairman, who they described as a man of integrity. Still with the NDDC and more drama, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has rescued former acting managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Joy Nune, from her house after armed policemen laid siege to her residence. Nune, who was supposed to appear before the National Assembly panel investigating the NDDC today, raised alarm when she was prevented from leaving her house by police officials who sought to take her away for questioning. The siege, which began at about 4:30 a.m., was however interrupted by the state governor, who stormed the building and whisked Nune away in his convoy. Leader of the policeman group was caught on camera saying they had earlier invited the former NDDC MD for questioning, but she has refused to honor their request. Improved gold mining operations in Nigeria will generate no fewer than 25,000 jobs and over $500 million annually in royalties and taxes. This is according to President Muhammadu Buhari. Buhari said this on Thursday at an official presentation of locally mined gold bars by the Presidential Artisanal Gold Mining Development Initiative. The president also reaffirmed his administration's commitment to establishing gold refineries in Nigeria and combating illegal mining activities.
In Nigeria, the drop in crude oil prices has had a significant impact on government revenue, as well as on our foreign exchange earnings. In response to this challenge, it is therefore paramount that we strengthen our efforts at implementing policies and programs that will enable greater diversification of the Nigerian economy. Given our current estimated gold reserve of over 200 million ounces, most of which have not been exploited, developing sustainable programs that will catalyze increased investment in the extraction and refining of gold sourced from mines in Nigeria is indeed vital. As a result, we expect that close to 250,000 jobs would be created for improved gold mining operations. These operations will help in diversifying our revenue base. The sale of gold by artisanal miners and SMEs at accredited centers will help the government in realizing royalties and taxes from the sale of these assets. Improved mining operation could lead to the generation of over $500 million United States dollars annually in royalties and taxes.
We have today received into our reserves through the purchase of this 12.5 kilogram LBMA gold bar into our reserve. For those who feel that Nigeria, the only way they analyze Nigeria is to say, oh, what is the price of crude? Is the price of crude high or is the price of crude low? they will now begin to see that at this time when the price of crude is low and the price of gold is rising, that the Nigerian economy remains strong, Nigerian economy remains resilient to withstand the exogenous shock that we see around us today.
Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige has inaugurated a presidential joint board and audit investigation panel, and that's to probe the alleged 3.4 billion naira financial infractions levied against suspended managing director of the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund, NSITF, Adebayo Shomefu, and 3 other directors. The committee, which was inaugurated today in Abuja, is chaired by Ibrahim Khalil of the Nigeria Labour Congress and chairman of the Audit Committee of the NSITF board. Ngige, who was represented by Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment William Allo, said the 8-member committee has 3 weeks to submit its report. Doctors in Lagos State, under the aegis of Medical Guild, have returned to work after suspending a 3-day warning strike. Chairman of the union, Oluwajimi Shodipo, who confirmed the development, said the strike had partly achieved the aim of drawing attention to their plight and also bringing the government to the negotiating table. The medics would call the strike over unpaid salaries and other issues of safety and welfare. Shodipo, however, insisted that doctors on the COVID-19 frontline remained at risk. Meanwhile, the Lagos State government says it's working with the doctors to resolve the issues and ensure that efforts to contain the spread of the pandemic is not disrupted. The Niger State House of Assembly has impeached its majority leader, Suleiman Nasako, and his deputy, Andrew Jagaba. This follows the adoption of a motion by Ndagi Baba, representing Lavun constituency, and seconded by Seydou Tama, representing Edati constituency, during Thursday's plenary. Speaking on the motion, Baba said the lawmakers had observed that the majority and deputy majority leaders were responsible for the slow movement of activities in the House, adding that the House under their leadership was not progressing. Meanwhile, Abba Bala has been elected as the new majority leader, while Binta Maman was appointed as the new deputy majority leader. The Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved a solid waste management policy for the country. Minister of Environment Mohammed Mahmood revealed this to the State House correspondents while briefing them on decisions reached at this week's virtual cabinet meeting chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari. Mahmood said the policy will help improve cleanliness across the country, as well as give room for the conversion of waste to wealth, while also creating job opportunities.
We are looking at reducing waste. We are looking at reusing, recycling, repair, and reduction. Now, why National Solid Waste Management policy? Because it will provide a framework for a comprehensive, integrated solid waste management in which the federal, the state, local government, MDAs, institutions, NGOs, will all be part of this. This is something that needs a coordinated effort and will provide, among other things, one, good quality environment, which will mean healthier people, will provide jobs because we'll have, this waste is no longer waste, it's now resources. We consider it a resource because you can reuse, you can recycle, you can do all that. Ultimately, the one that you cannot even, the rubbish, the garbage, can be turned into other things. Like we have plastic recycling plant right here next to us in Karu. What we do with that, we take these plastics, whether it's pure water, leather, where is the bottles, whatever it is, as long as it's plastic, we take it to that plant. It's washed, it's run through the system, it's melted and turned into pellets. This pellet can be used to produce interlocks, briquette, and so many other things. So it's no longer waste, but rather a resource.
No fewer than 602 repentant Boko Haram members have sworn an oath of allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the last 1 week. Coordinator, Defense Media Operations John Enenche Disclosed this while giving an update on the Armed Forces of Nigeria operations between July 9th and July 16th at a news conference on Thursday in Abuja. According to NNCHE, the repentant Boko Haram members relinquished their membership of the terrorist group and underwent de-radicalization, rehabilitation and reintegration program by Operation Safe Corridor. He adds that the ex-insurgents who have completed the DDR program at the Malam Sidi camp took the oath before an 11-member quasi-judicial panel. Let's take a break here, but still to come. 57 healthcare workers contract COVID-19 in Plateau State as national tally nears 35,000.
Table. Alpha, say tomorrow still day on.
What's your tomorrow?
Community meeting now.
You know they here, Abi?
Now beg you. See, if we meet for my house, inside parlor, then go no.
This COVID-19 is not a child's play.
If you want to elect a new secretary, we fit to
Do one for WhatsApp, or for Skype, or even on Zoom. Or we just wait.
I will not negotiate.
This social distancing, it is not negotiable.
Not every infected person shows symptoms, but every infected person is contagious. Avoid large gatherings and self-isolate if you think you might have come in contact with a carrier. Your safety and the safety of others is in your hands.
This message is from the Akinfade Foundation in partnership with the National Orientation Agency with support from MacArthur.
Welcome back. Here's some of our top stories tonight. Lawmakers at the House of Representatives have ordered the arrest of acting managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Keme Bradikuma Ponde, after he and other NDDC management officials walked out on the House of Representatives Committee probing the alleged misappropriation of 40 billion naira by the commission. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has rescued former acting managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Joy Nune, from her house after armed policemen laid siege to her residence. Nune, who was supposed to appear before the National Assembly panel investigating the NDDC today, raised alarm when she was prevented from leaving her house by police officials who sought to take her away for questioning. We also told you that doctors in Lagos State under the aegis of Medical Guild have returned to work after spending 3 days with a warning strike. Chairman of the union, Oluwajimi Shodipo, who confirmed the development, said the strike had partly achieved the aim of drawing attention to their plight and also bringing the government to the negotiation table. The 6 southwest states, Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, Osun and Ekiti, have agreed to reopen schools next month to enable senior secondary schools 3 pupils sit for the West African Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination. Commissioners for Education in the 6 states, special advisors on education and the State Universal Education Board SUBEB chairman reached the agreement at a virtual meeting organized by the Development Agenda for Western Nigeria Commission yesterday. However, the federal government had on Wednesday repeated its advisory that schools should remain shut and not take part in the examination conducted by the West Africa Examination Council, WAEC. The Commissioner for Health in Plateau State, Nim Kongla, has said that 57 health workers have been infected with COVID-19 in the course of their duties in various healthcare centers in Plateau. La said this at a press briefing after an executive council meeting on Wednesday in Jos. La added that the workers were managing COVID-19 patients in primary health centers, hospitals and private clinics across the state. On his part, the Commissioner for Communication, Dan Mangjang, said that the government would take disciplinary action against civil servants who refuse to submit themselves for COVID-19 tests. According to him, the state has a total of 571 confirmed cases, with a record of 28 cases on Tuesday, which is the highest recorded so far. Peng Liyuan, First Lady of the People's Republic of China, has donated medical equipment to Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Buhari to support Nigeria in the fight against COVID-19. Representing the First Lady of China, Deputy Ambassador of the Chinese Embassy in Abuja handed over the medical equipment to the First Lady of Nigeria on Wednesday in Abuja. In her message, the Chinese First Lady said that solidarity, cooperation and mutual assistance among countries were crucial to defeating COVID-19, hence the token of support with medical equipment from the government of China.
That the bilateral relationship between Nigeria and China is growing stronger, not only on the policy making and international policy, but also at home, local issue that has to do with the people of Nigeria. On this note, we are very, very grateful. The First Lady of Nigeria, Her Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari, when we started this process of presentation of these donated items with the staff and His Excellency, the Deputy Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, about 2 weeks ago, she has been receiving the news with happiness and gratitude and appreciation to the people, the government, and of course her sister, the First Lady of China, Professor Leung Peng. We are all very grateful, and we are happy to receive, like all African countries, in this very ceremonial event, these donated items to Nigeria.
Daughter of former South African President Nelson Mandela, that's Zinzi Mandela, who died on Monday, had tested positive for COVID-19. Her son confirmed her diagnosis to South Africa's public broadcaster SABC on Wednesday. It was, however, not confirmed if this was the cause of her death. The 59-year-old died in a hospital in Johannesburg in Gauteng province, the region identified by the Ministry of Health as South Africa's COVID-19 epicenter. This comes as 7,000 police officers in South Africa tested positive to COVID-19. India reported 32,695 new COVID-19 cases on Thursday, the highest single-day surge so far. With this, the national tally of cases has reached 970,169. The Health Ministry added that 606 deaths were reported over the past day, taking the death toll to 24,915. Meanwhile, 612,815 patients have recovered in the country at a rate of 63.24%. After this break, we'll be joining Oyin Adekunle for the latest in business. Do stay with us.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. Two of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so...
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no, you don't need to do this. We are only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Okay, which came up with this one? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. all forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
You're welcome back. Here's Onyi Adekunle with all you need to know in business.
Thank you very much, Annette, and welcome to Business Side of the News. The Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved the 2021 to 2023 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper with 12.66 trillion naira budget projection for each of the 3 fiscal years. The approval was given at a virtual meeting of the council presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. Briefing journalists at the end of the meeting, Minister of State for Finance, Budget and National Planning, Clement Agba, listed other projections in the budget.
For the very first time in a very long while, all regions of the world are projected to experience negative growth in 2020. Although there are substantial differences across the individual countries, but only China is showing a 1% projected GDP growth. So based on these assumptions, we came up with the parameters that was presented to the Federal Executive Council today. So going by this MTF FSP, it is projected that in 2021 might have a budget size of about 12.66 trillion. And this will also trend in 2022 and 2023. Because of the pandemic and the implications of it, and the fiscal space where we don't have a lot of buffers, there might be need for some additional borrowing going forward.
Nigeria's former Finance and Foreign Affairs Minister, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, says she deserves to become the next Director General of the World Trade Organization because she's qualified to lead and has all the necessary attributes to take on the role. Okonjo-Iweala said this when she appeared before representatives of the 164 member countries of the organization on Wednesday to pitch her plans and vision for the body.
I think it's an honor to have 3 qualified candidates from my continent, and we should not necessarily see it as a bad thing. I have total respect for my competitors from all continents for the job of WTO, and I believe that the WTO members should select on merit. Of course, I would love if that came from Africa, because Africa has never had a turn. I would love it if it's a woman, because a woman has not had a turn. And of course, I would love it if it were me, because I think I'm qualified to lead and I have all the attributes. WTO needs leadership. And it needs someone able to bring a bundle of qualities, political ability, an ability to reach decision makers, international contacts, I have that. Managerial capabilities from my long years in a multilateral organization like the World Bank, the ability to forge consensus and to negotiate. A reformer. I have a reputation established as a strong reformer, both at the World Bank and also in my country. I've even written a book about it. So I think I bring together a bundle of qualities, public sector, private sector, because you need to know how do businesses see the WTO and what needs to be done. What about micro, medium, and small enterprises? Just to find out what it means to be a medium or small enterprise owner. I started one myself in Nigeria to see what are the obstacles in the way that you need to clear out. So I'm a doer. You know, I'm solutions-oriented and pragmatic. So I bring together the bundle of qualities and the leadership acumen that you need to lead this. So I would hope that if selected from the African continent, it should be me.
Let's take a break here and return with Stock Market Review. Many investors on the NSE are trading cautiously amid thin market liquidity and soaring crude oil prices. And at the end of trading today, the market closed flat. And of course, NACO and Unity Bank were the top losers of the day with 20 kobo and 4 kobo declines respectively. And moving on to the gainers, we see that JS Bank led the gainers. Of course, we also have Ikeja Hotel, I beg your pardon, Ikeja Hotel and Presco led the gainers today, while Cadbury and Cordville also made significant gains today. And in summary, level of activity in the market was lower, with volume of shares closing lower at 207 million from 208 million in previous session, and the value of trade also fell by around 12 million from 1 billion naira to 987.7 million naira today, and that exchange hands in 3,323 deals. Moving on to the foreign scene now, FTSE closed in the reds as global markets struggled to find any fresh positive stimulus. Jobless claims in the U.S. also dragged the Dow lower, while Nikkei also closed in the reds at 0.76% lower. And that's it from here. Aneta, it's back to you.
Not a great trading day for the foreign stock markets, but a good one in Sudan, as the transitional governments led by Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok and a coalition of rebel groups have entered into a final phase of peace talks. Mediators described the discussions as the most important component of the Sudan peace process, which aims to restore stability to 3 regions where rebels have fought bloody campaigns against marginalization under ousted President Omar al-Bashir. The Sudan Revolutionary Front, a coalition of 9 rebel groups negotiating with the government, said both parties had agreed that the group will get 25% of seats in parliament and the executive branch of government. The parties have also agreed on a timeline of 39 months for a transitional period after the signing of a comprehensive peace agreement. And the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations tournament will now take place in June and July 2023. Acting Secretary General of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, Abdel Ba, revealed this to newsmen on Thursday. The timing of the competition has been the subject of speculation after CAF President Ahmed stated in June that it would take place in 2023, while saying he didn't know the exact month. In 2017, CAF decided to schedule all future Nations Cup for these months, enshrining the change in its tournament regulations. The next Nations Cup will take place in January 2022. However, owing to unfavorable weather conditions in Cameroon in June and July, when the host country suffers some of the wettest months of the year. And that's it on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Aneta Felix. Thank you for watching.